Hi everyone, this is my first video, so please forgive me if it's kind of crummy, but I ran into some issues with my Beats headphones and I thought I'd show you how I resolved them. Okay, so the first issue that I ran into was that the ear cup wouldn't stay connected to the band, okay, the headband. Problem was there was two little plastic knobs and they were attached here and here, and they snapped into here and here, and they allowed the ear cup to swivel like this. And the problem was, well, they were very small and they were plastic, and one of them broke, and then the ear cup came off. So I tried to glue the little plastic knob back on, and that sort of worked for a while. I could snap the thing back together, but it was only really a temporary fix. And then when they got dropped, unfortunately it pretty much just hit the ear cup and busted the other plastic knob. So I was left with no plastic knobs hanging on because they were both broken now. And the idea of trying to glue them back on and getting the ear cup back on just wasn't really a workable option. So as you can see, I drilled a hole. I drilled one here and I drilled one here. The idea was that they are the holes are exactly where the plastic knobs had been, so I could send screws, these little guys, right through the headband and right into this hole here and this hole here. Now there's nothing directly behind this part, so your screws aren't going to go into anything sensitive. They're just going to come into this empty black plastic area back here. Okay, so these are the screws that I used. I'm not exactly sure what size they are, but they work pretty good for me and bit into the plastic. You'll have to judge that for yourself, what size of screws you want to use. Okay, now another problem I ran into was I solved that problem. I got it put back together, but when they're dropped, apparently the ear cup came free, and it detached one of the wires from the driver, the speaker inside here. And as you can see, it's not attached. And part of the problem is there's no stress relief. There's no knot in the cord that keeps it from getting pulled on when the ear cup comes off, which really shouldn't happen. Now, possibly I could have returned my headphones for warranty on defective, manufacturing, but apparently unfortunately I got mine secondhand, so I wasn't able to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the recording here, and I'm gonna solder that back together, and then when I put it back together, I'll show you how it all came apart. Okay, so we're gonna solder it here. Put a little bit on the wire itself. Hopefully my iron's hot enough here. Okay. Let's make sure we get enough on there. Okay. Now, try to reattach it down here. Okay, well oops. I get it, and then hold it still. Alright, so that looks pretty darn good. So now I'm going to put the thing back together, and as you can see, I've fixed the ear cup on here with screws like I described, and I'll show you how it goes back together. Now this is the ear pad, and it's all in one piece, and what you're going to have to do to get it back together is you're going to have to separate these two pieces. It's actually two pieces here. There's this outer ring, it's the part with the silver on the edge. You're going to have to separate that, and then you're going to have to get this piece and tuck it back into the ear cup. So I'm going to pause the video and go ahead and try and do that. Okay, well, we're back now, and I did get it on there, though it was tough. You gotta be, you know, delicate with it. It's stretchy, but it's not super durable. Okay, so the thing that holds this into here is these 4 little plastic things that stick up here. And they interact with 4 other plastic things inside of here. So you can see them in there. Well, anyway, we're just going to take this, and it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you end up laying this back on here, because the thing that holds the soft ear cup on is that it's sandwiched in between these 2 layers here. And then when you shove this unit back in here, it gets squeezed and held in there. Okay, so when I took it apart, what I had to do was I had to first pull the soft ear foam part off, and so I just had to kind of work it with my thumb and pull it out of there, and then I was able to stick a screwdriver in between the silver part and that black plastic outer part, and I was able to pop it out at the 4 different locations, and you'll be able to see them from the once you get the soft foam off. And so I'm just gonna basically stick it back together here. Let's see here. Yeah, this is gonna be a little tricky, so I'm just gonna pause. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. We got the ear cup snapped back together, no problem. Just got it lined up and shoved it back in there. So, if you're having trouble with your Beats headphones, I know it's really stressful. You paid a lot of money for them, so I hope this helps. The thing with the Beats is that they're very stylish. The sound quality is good, but the problem is they're not very durable. So, there you go.